So there I was in the studio, on the air, a special live afternoon Sunday edition of MediaBuzz. And what happens, my producer tells me in my ear, we're getting a statement from Hillary Clinton's campaign about her health. And I said, load it into the prompter. The audience saw all this. And there it was, Hillary Clinton diagnosed with pneumonia. What I didn't know then, this is Sunday afternoon, is that the diagnosis actually had come on Friday. So for 2 days, the Clinton campaign didn't tell the press and didn't tell the public that she had pneumonia. And the reason this came out after a day of feverish speculation was because of what happened that morning when, as you know, Hillary Clinton went to the 9/11 anniversary ceremony, left early, ditched her press pool, no explanation for 90 minutes, and then comments from an aide saying that she had been overheated in lower Manhattan where the temperature was in the low 80s. And then later in the day came the video that showed her very shaky, having to be helped into a car. Only then, after all that, did we learn that Hillary Clinton has been suffering from pneumonia. Now, this kind of dissembling with the press, running away from the press pool, providing no explanation, providing a misleading explanation because the campaign knew that she had pneumonia, is a far, far bigger problem than the pneumonia itself. Don't take my word for it. Here's David Axelrod, former Obama White House aide and certainly sympathetic to the Clinton candidacy, tweeting, antibiotics can take care of pneumonia. What's the cure for an unhealthy penchant for privacy that repeatedly causes unnecessary problems, repeatedly creates unnecessary problems? Turns out there's a long history of this. That Hillary Clinton, according to the Washington Post, back in 1998, when she was First Lady, was quietly treated for a blood clot that was not disclosed at the time, but which Hillary Clinton later said or wrote that this had been the biggest health scare of her life. So here we have a kind of parallel to the email scandal. And I don't mean to pile on in this sense. So she has pneumonia. She's a 68-year-old woman who's been through a grueling campaign, and she got sick. Had they just announced it, I think people would have been sympathetic, taken a few days off the trail. I mean, it's not ideal, 2 months before a general election. But instead, as in the email case, you have the non-disclosure information and the grudging omission of a mistake, and you have people raising questions about her honesty and trustworthiness because of the way she handled that. This is a lot easier to understand. There's no classification markings on email, private server, and all of that. She is sick. She wasn't upfront with journalists about being sick. She wasn't upfront with the public about being sick. And now I hear people saying, well, how do we know pneumonia is the real explanation? All of the conservative critics who were spinning these dark conspiracy theories about the state of her health, some of them went too far. But this fuels their ability now to raise new questions. Can she stay on the ticket and all of that? Look, she'll get better and she'll be back on the campaign trail, but I think that by mishandling this, by essentially being misleading with the press about the state of her health, she is losing even some of her liberal allies in the media who think that this was just botched in the worst possible way, 1,000 times worse than the pneumonia itself, is not being straightforward about it with the journalists who cover her.